Welcome to my home. Sometimes the weather can play a big part in my ability to get outside. One of my favorite places to get outside and explore was Grand Canyon National Park. In March of 2013, some of my family and I spent a couple of days at the park. I never expected to experience the difference in weather and climate from one end of the park to the other like we did on the South Rim. We arrived at the west end of the park late in the afternoon. It was cold, snow and ice covered the ground. I wanted to get as many photographs as I could with the canyon in the snow, because I didn't know how long it would last. To be honest, I have not seen very many pictures of the canyon in the snow, and by the end of the next day, it was still cold, but the snow was a distant memory. On the east end, it was cool in the morning, but by the time the sun came up, it was warm. I guess that's what you get from the desert climate of the Grand Canyon. Talk about dressing for the weather. I never expected it to snow while we were at the Grand Canyon. I guess that's what makes photographing outdoors so special to me. You always have to be prepared. We didn't see much in the way of wildlife either while we were there, but that's not what made the Grand Canyon so special. Watching the sunrise over the canyon was one of the best shows I've ever seen in nature. We were at the Grand Canyon for 2 mornings. My first night at the Grand Canyon, I took a lot of pictures, but I was also scouting for a good spot to photograph the sunrise. I found it at the same place we watched the sunset that night. I placed myself in a good spot at the canyon, and my brother placed himself at another spot on another side of a small incline. The idea was that he might be able to catch some other angles, or he could get me for better shots. I ended up moving around quite a bit to try to capture the canyon as it changed. Nature's easy chair was one of the best shots created that morning. The next day we headed out earlier to get to the other side of the park. We placed ourselves by the lookout tower and waited. I didn't really get great shots of the sunrise, but I was able to capture the canyon walls changing color. This is something I noticed a lot of people missed. 2 things stood out that morning to me. First was, I hoped that the mountain lion that belonged to the track we found the day before didn't show up. The second was the amount of people that would show up and take pictures right before the sun came up and right after the sun was up. They missed the best part, the canyon walls changing. So when you visit, make sure you take the extra time to get there early and catch the colors as they start to break, and stay a little bit later to watch the canyon walls as they change. Do the same thing with the sunset. I promise you won't be disappointed. We watched the sun set twice over the canyon. I didn't pack my tripod for the trip, which was a big mistake. I remember trying to photograph with my camera on my knee or on a rock, trying to steady it for shots. The wait can seem like forever, but in the downtime, I like to explore, and you never know what you'll get. When the wait is over and the shooting begins, everything else can be forgotten for a while. The clouds moved in, creating patterns and unbelievable colors. The wide open space and striking colors set up for a fantastic experience. The Grand Canyon was a great place to explore and offered more than I ever could have imagined. My advice to you when you visit, get up early and go to bed late. Take every moment to savor the sunsets and sunrises and enjoy the canyon in all its grandeur. I can't wait till my next visit in just a few months. So until next time, get outside and keep exploring.